Life can sometimes feel like a series of missed opportunities, regrets, and wasted years. It's not uncommon to look back at certain periods and wonder what could have been. But what if I told you that those years aren't truly wasted? What if there's a promise, a powerful truth, that no matter how many mistakes we've made or challenges we've faced, there is hope for restoration? Today, we'll explore how God's love can restore our wasted years and turn our pain into purpose. Whether you're grappling with regret, heartache, or simply a sense of lost time, this message will encourage you to believe in the power of restoration. The biblical foundation of restoration. Let's start with a key promise from the Bible that forms the foundation of this hope, Joel 2:25, where God declares, "I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten." This verse comes from a time when the people of Israel faced devastation. A locust plague had ravaged their land, consuming everything in sight. It wasn't just a natural disaster but a consequence of their disobedience to God. Yet, despite their failings, God extended mercy, promising to not only restore their crops and livelihoods but also their spirits. This concept of restoration isn't just about material things, it's about healing on a deeper level. God wasn't just offering to give them back what they had lost. He was promising to bring them closer to Him, to restore their faith, their hope, and their relationship with Him. Personal reflections on wasted years. We can all relate to the feeling of loss and wasted time. Maybe you've spent years pursuing a career that didn't pan out the way you'd hoped, or perhaps you've been through a relationship that ended in heartache. Sometimes, it's health struggles that hold us back, keeping us from living fully. There are even times when we feel spiritually dry, disconnected from God, and unsure of His presence in our lives. These wasted years can weigh heavily on our hearts. They often lead to feelings of hopelessness, of despair, as we wonder if we can ever make up for the lost time. But here's the good news: God is not limited by time. He can make things right again, even when it seems like it's too late. His power to redeem and restore is infinite, and when we place our trust in Him, He begins a process of healing and renewal that goes beyond anything we can imagine. Transforming pain into purpose. One of the most beautiful ways that God restores our wasted years is by turning our pain into purpose. Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." This means that no experience, no matter how painful, is wasted in God's hands. Every hardship, every trial, becomes a stepping stone for something greater. Take a moment to think about your own life. What challenges have you faced that, at the time, seemed like insurmountable obstacles? How has God used those experiences to shape you, to build your character, and to prepare you for what's to come? Sometimes, it's only in hindsight that we see how God was working through our struggles to bring about a greater good. The power of testimony. As we go through difficult times, it's easy to feel isolated, like no one else could possibly understand what we're going through. But as we trust in God and see His hand at work in our lives, our faith grows stronger. These experiences become powerful testimonies that we can share with others. In fact, your story of overcoming hardship could be the very thing that helps someone else find hope. When we share our testimonies, whether it's about a financial struggle, a health crisis, or a broken relationship, we offer comfort and encouragement to those who are going through similar challenges. We show them that they're not alone and that God is capable of restoring their lives as well. Your pain becomes a tool for bringing healing to others. Renewed joy and hope. One of the most profound aspects of God's restoration is the renewal of joy and hope. In Psalm 51:12, David cries out, "Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and grant me a willing spirit to sustain me." This verse is a reminder that God doesn't just fix our circumstances, He renews our spirits. He brings us joy not because our situation has changed, but because we've been reminded of His love, His faithfulness, and His promises. This joy is rooted in the knowledge that we are loved and valued by God, that He has a good plan for our lives, and that no matter what happens, we can trust Him. It's a joy that lifts us up, even when we're feeling overwhelmed by the weight of our past. And with that joy comes a renewed sense of hope. We start to believe that good things can happen again, that the future holds possibilities we hadn't considered. New beginnings and opportunities. God's restoration doesn't just end with healing our hearts, He also brings new opportunities and blessings into our lives. Isaiah 43:19 declares, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up, do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." God is always at work, even when we can't see it. He opens doors that seem permanently closed and provides blessings that go beyond our expectations. When you feel like you've missed out on opportunities or wasted time, it's easy to become discouraged, but God is a God of new beginnings. He's constantly creating new paths and possibilities for you, turning your deserts into places of abundance. These new beginnings may come in unexpected ways: a new job, a new relationship, or a fresh start in a place you never imagined. But when they come, they're a powerful testament to God's grace and His ability to make all things new. Holistic restoration. One of the most beautiful things about God's restoration is that it touches every part of our lives. He doesn't just fix one aspect, He brings healing and renewal to our entire being. Whether it's emotional wounds, broken relationships, or physical health, God's restoration is complete. In our relationships, He brings reconciliation and renewal. He helps us mend broken connections, build stronger bonds, and create healthy, loving relationships. In our health, He gives us strength and vitality, helping us overcome illness and weakness. And in our minds, He renews our thoughts and attitudes, helping us let go of negativity and embrace hope and positivity. Trusting God's timing. It's important to remember that God's timing is perfect. While we may want immediate restoration, God knows the best time and way to bring it about. Trusting in His timing requires faith and patience, but it also helps us grow closer to Him as we wait. This waiting period is not wasted time, it becomes a season of growth and preparation. God works on our hearts and minds, shaping us to be ready for the blessings He has planned. We develop a deeper faith, learning to rely on His strength and find contentment in His presence. Ultimately, when God's restoration comes, it's more wonderful than we could have imagined. The restoration of wasted years is a testament to God's incredible love and mercy. No matter how many years feel lost, God's promise to restore them remains. His restoration brings purpose out of pain, joy out of sorrow, and new opportunities out of closed doors. As you trust in His timing and surrender your past to Him, you can be confident that He will make all things new. Your wasted years will become a testimony to His grace and power, showing the world that with God, nothing is impossible. Remember, the best is always yet to come when you walk with God. Heavenly Father, we thank You for Your promise of restoration. We ask that You heal the broken places in our lives and fill us with the joy of Your salvation. As we trust in You, we believe that You are working all things for our good, and we look forward to the new beginnings You have.